Why was there a pencil in the toilet? It was a number 2. Alright, so that's a 5th grade joke for you right there. So I'm sitting in my backyard and I wanted to give a shout out and a thank you to Off Grid with Doug and Stacy and MIGardener channel, because I'm a teacher, so we have summers off. And last summer I did it, and this summer I'm doing it again. I found myself watching more and more of Doug and Stacy, Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, and MIGardener's YouTube videos. And I don't know what it is, but I enjoy their content. I like watching it. Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, I started with them first. The composting toilet and just living with no solar power, totally off grid. There's a car coming by, but it really, you know, got me hooked, right? So all I do was watch, right? It's kind of like like this old house, right? You watch it and you're kind of like, oh, that's cool, you know. Or if I had all those tools, I could do the same thing, but I never do it, right? So this year is a little different. So this year I'm making more YouTube videos. One reason is, so when I go back to school and the kids come back, they always ask, you know, we always have that discussion about, you know, what'd you do over summer? How was your summer? Well, they can watch and see, okay, you know, what I did. I could say I went to Gardner State Park. I can say I made a garden, but it's a whole lot better if they actually see what I did instead of me just telling them what I did. So, because a lot of kids they're visual learners, and I'm a visual learner, so I like to see. You know, you can give me something on paper, but you know, I'll just get bored with it probably. Like a lot of people, like my kids that I teach. You know, after a while it's like, okay, whatever, you know. But you give them something engaging to watch, and they enjoy it, and hopefully they learn something from it. So that's why I'm making some of these videos. But this video in particular is the why. Why am I going to make a raised garden bed? Because I've never done it before. And I've been watching all those videos from Off Grid with Doug and Stacy and MIGardener. And I think, you know what? If I don't do it now, I'll probably never do it. So I have decided that I'm going to make this garden, and I'm going to plant corn. I have it on a paper here. Look, you want to see my garden setup? This is what I'm thinking. Corn, tomatoes, peppers, beans, and pumpkins. Now, what I've seen in videos from the internet is that pumpkins, yeah, they're going to go crazy and they're going to spread out, and they are going to make, which, by the way, I've learned so much about stuff that I should have known. I'm 38 years old and I didn't know a lot of this stuff, but I didn't know pumpkins. Like male flowers will come out, and then after the male flowers, the female flowers will come up. Had no clue about that, right? I didn't know you could actually eat the pumpkin flowers, but you can. But I didn't know that the stems of the pumpkins, they'll grow like roots, like you know, they'll go a little further, and then like from the vine of the plant, they'll actually put more roots down, which was crazy to me. So I'm gonna try the pumpkins. I know well, hopefully, here's the whole thing, right? I'm saying they're gonna go everywhere. Hopefully they go everywhere, right? Hopefully I'm not gonna plant this and everything dies. But if that happens, hey, it happens. At least I can say I've done it, right? You know, I've given it a good shot, right? You know, I went out there and I tried it, like that book Walden, you know, Henry David Thoreau. Walden, he goes out and lives by the pond for 2 years, just, you know, to try it, to live on his own, to live self-sufficiently. And I'm gonna try it and see how it works. So, have I ever grown corn or pumpkins or beans? No. I've tried. I think I had one time an upside down tomato planter, and I think we had a pepper plant at one time, but that was pretty much it. I'll just turn the camera on. You can see I'm living in the suburbs in Houston, it was like 101 degrees today. It's July 23rd. And right now it's like 7:30 at night. The sun's going down. And by the way, there's the lumber that I'm gonna use to make the planter. I mean the raised garden bed. But that's the thing. If you're one of my students watching this, try something new. I teach technology, by the way, so from sun up to sundown, I'm inside, usually on a computer or on somebody else's computer, and I never get to do stuff like this. I guess I could do it, but I never actually took the time to okay, let me try it. Let me actually do this and see what happens. So this year, I'm doing it, and that's why I'm doing it. Just why, Kennedy said, why climb Mount Everest? Because it's there, right? Why go to the moon? Because we can. So there you go. Why am I going to plant this garden? Because I can, and I want to, and I'm curious about what's going to happen, right? Whether it's a total failure or a huge success. And by the way, a huge success would be having little things come up, like little sprigs come up. That would be awesome to me. But a huge, like the ultimate would be to actually get food from the corn and tomato plants and peppers and bananas. I mean bananas. That would be crazy, bananas. Beans and pumpkin. That would be unbelievable if that happened, actually. Yeah, if that happened, then you might see the whole backyard turned into raised garden beds. But this is my first one. I don't think it'll be my last one, though, because I have a feeling even if this one completely fails, I will learn from it and try something new. And even if you completely fail, that doesn't mean you're a failure for life. You know, it's kind of like I tell my kids, right? Just because, you know, you fail a test doesn't mean that you're a failure for life. You know, if you get sick, that doesn't mean you're always going to be sick. You're a sick person. No, that just means you have a cold. You got the flu. You get over it. Boom. And you learn from it. So I'm going to try this and see what happens. If, like I said, I get a few things on there, like a few pieces of corn or something, that would be it for me. That would be 100 for me, right? If I don't get anything, well, I don't get anything. But at least I'm trying it. My wife and daughter think I'm crazy, but I have a feeling once they see, this is why I'm keeping my fingers crossed, right, that I get something. Because it took a lot of convincing for my wife to give me the okay for this, because she likes the grass and she likes her own like flower beds and stuff like that. So for me to actually convince her, and she hates that I watch Off Grid with Doug and Stacy and MIGardener, because she thinks that, you know, I'm gonna change the backyard into some like ranch or something. I'm gonna have like chickens and horses or something like that, which I wouldn't mind. But obviously, living in the suburbs, there's, I guess, you know, there's violation, there's codes and stuff like that you can't do that. I wouldn't mind having a chicken coop though. Anyways, so it took some convincing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to try my best to at least get some kind, I don't care what it is, a pepper, something, and then I think they'll come around once they start to see the fruit, I mean the vegetables come to life. So we'll see. But I'm excited about it. It would be so awesome, right? If I had corn and the corn grew, and then I used the corn for like a fall festival or something, where, you know, I could give some to my, yeah, that's the thing, right? That's the coolest thing, right? The neighbors, right? Like, how cool would it be? Would be like, hey, here's some corn. I grew it in my backyard. Yeah, didn't know that, did you? You know, I mean, how cool would that be? That's the coolest thing, right? And, you know, like there's that thing on TV, like after one of the shows that says, I made this. Well, I can say, look, I made this, like this happened. You know, well, Mother Nature did it, but I just kind of guided it along. But that would be one of the coolest things ever, right? And I think it would also be a good teachable moment, not only for me, but for my kids, including my own daughter and my wife. For example, I didn't know that when you have corn, each of those little, I call them hairs on the corn, actually goes back to one of the kernels on the corn itself. And if you ever get a piece of corn that's has little holes in it, you know, like there's not a kernel there, that's because that little silk strand didn't get pollinated. So I did not know that until this summer. So that's why it's going to be a learning process, and I look forward to doing it. And I want to say thank you again to Off Grid with Doug and Stacy and MIGardener, because without you, I probably would not be doing this. I probably would not have the courage to do this, because I don't know what I'm doing, actually. That's the thing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens, right? I mean, the worst that can happen is everything dies. And my wife says, okay, enough already. Your experiment is over with. But the best part would be it actually does work out. We do get some food. And then maybe I get another garden and another garden and another garden. I probably won't get too crazy, but I just think that's a cool thing to experience, right? Maybe I'm 38 years old, so maybe I'm going through like a midlife crisis or something like that. I hope not, but if it is a midlife crisis, I'd rather raise some vegetables instead of spending money like on a convertible Corvette or something like that. That would just be ridiculous. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I'll make videos on how it's going. Like, for example, the next video is gonna be me actually making the raised bed, and I'll let you know how it goes. So you can come along on the adventure with me. So thank you for watching. Bye-bye.